Right, well today we're with Alan, who's from Bolton Diggers, and Alan's going to talk to us today about some workshops that him and the Diggers are going to put on in collaboration with Transition Network. So fire away, Al.
2 years ago, 2021, we put on a series of talks around the theme of building alternative economies. Through a series of guest speakers, we talked about the whole idea of supporting and nurturing local economies, economies which are circular, serving the needs of local communities, ecological. So we talked about a range of issues and stimulated a series of discussions around things like car boot sales as local distribution networks, local crafts, recycling, co-housing, microbreweries, cafe co-ops and renewable energy projects. Despite coming in the wake of COVID, the talks were quite well attended and successful, and they contributed towards stimulating lots of debates about local economies and giving people a chance to vent about what they thought was wrong with the local economy. We did this supported with funding from Transition Network, which we're really in sync with their ideas. We're a member of Transition Network, and it's grown now to encompass 48 different groups around the world, and it's all about reimagining and rebuilding the world through practical engagement in social change, through participatory projects like our own, all aimed at building an alternative sort of society and an economy based on well-being for everyone and not just for elites. Like I say, our outlook is in transition, is in sync with transition. It's all about transitioning to a more sustainable sort of society and community. Transition Network liked what we did, and this year they've very generously given us some more funding. The workshops we're going to do this year are more practically based, whereas before there was just general discussions and talks. We're really going to concentrate on building local people's skills, which would be suitable for a different sort of society, more ecological society. We've organised the first one, which is coming up this Sunday, and that will be about pruning fruit trees. We're also going to be doing willow fencing, which will be on Saturday the 27th of May. Other ones which we've got in the pipeline, we're just trying to sort out dates for mushroom growing, beekeeping, basic introduction to solar power, food preservation in general, and also fermentation, dyeing using natural dyeing using plant extracts, beer and wine growing, making a pole lathe, building cargo bikes, lots of different ideas knocking around which we're trying to tie down to particular dates. So if you're interested in any of these, keep an eye on our Facebook page, Bolton Diggers Food Hubs. Like I say, our outlook as diggers is completely in sync with Transition Network. Thinking back to the group which inspired us in 1649, the original diggers, Gerard Winstanley was very much, and the rest of the diggers were very much about building an alternative sort of economy and an alternative society. And if you look at Winstanley's writings, he talked about establishing society as a commonwealth, a society which has an economy which benefits everybody. And he talked about things like establishing production on the land and craft production, and establishing communal storehouses where anyone could come along and get the things that they needed for their life, including food and what have you, without the need for buying and selling. So within that that time, people were thinking about what they didn't like about society, but also thinking about how things could be done differently, instead of just amassing wealth for a minority at the expense of the rest of society and at the expense of the environment. So that's where we're coming from, and if you're interested, please get in touch.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for your time, Al. And any of these up and coming sessions, they'll be, as Alan mentioned, they'll be going on Bolton Diggers Facebook, and we'll also put them on Twitter and other social media. So thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for your time, Al.